You're in big trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Communion After Dark.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm afraid to go to sleep. I'm afraid to stay awake. They're gonna take me away.
it's blood. The soul smells good to me. Taking real life makes the fucking fire hang a lie. As it's super cry to red sub, but in position. Position.
sorry name for an angel.
Stay.
You thought me unkind to remind you how winter kills lost in daydreams. You drove too fast and got nowhere. You rode on half fair when you got too scared.
everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Communion After Dark. I'm here with Paradise, Winters, and special guest Daniel Graves of Aesthetic Perfection. Welcome.
Hello. Good to be back. It's been a while.
All right. I just finished my set, and you just heard DiarBlack from Germany with a song called Hold On, and that is actually the Aesthetic Perfection remix, which is a digital single you can get on Artistify Music. Prior to that, we heard Brand New Covenant from Sweden with a song called Winter Kills, and this is from their new Andreas EP, which goes out to their fallen member. That's out on Dependent Records. And prior to that, we heard Fermion from the US with a song called Impetus, and that's a brand new digital single on Remission Entertainment.
Yeah, I believe all. Okay, sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say that Covenant release, doesn't that all the proceeds for that go to his family?
Yep.
Okay, so you buy it, money goes to the family, which is actually a good cause. So makes sense to go out and purchase that.
All right, the fourth song that Gold played is new Echodead featuring Larcon out of Germany, and this is the digital single Lost. And they are on Dead Lounge Music. That track is fire.
Fire! All right. Larcon, he did a track with that Phaser 1 band too. Not sure who Larcon is though. We have to find that out. Track 3 in Gold set was by brand new Unter Null release, and the song was called Coming Up to Breathe. That is the C-Lekktor remix of the Unter Null track. And it's on the new release called You Made a Monster. It's an EP that is available currently on Alpha Matrix.
All right, and before that, we heard brand new ESA from the UK with a song called Ratchet, and that's from their new release called Sounds for Your Happiness. You can get on Negative Game Productions and Bandcamp. And then I started off with Aesthetic Perfection with a song called Master, and that is from his latest release called Close to Human. You can get out on Close to Human Music and his Bandcamp.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. And as always, we want to welcome Daniel again to the show, and we do a shot every week. And this week we're going to do it in honor of Mr. Graves joining us. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I have my shot right here.
I know, I've got mine right here. I'm like literally right next to the refrigerator. So.
I have a bottle of water.
That works.
That's all I got right now, but I'll do the shot with you.
Shot of water, that works. Tom, you got what you need?
Yeah, it's too early for me, so I got some wine.
I'm drinking coffee, and this is a shot of Kahlua with bent Baileys.
There you go. I just have amaretto, so this is nothing crazy.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, y'all.
Now drink your drink.
I love the taste of amaretto.
That was actually really good. I didn't think it was going to be good, the mint Baileys, but it's pretty good.
It was good?
Mm-hmm.
Yummy. All right. Gold, it's all yours. It was your set. Go ahead, ask away.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Daniel, and I know you've been very busy dude. So, what's new on your world besides some of your releases that you have out right now?
Oh man, I'm not one to spend too much time sitting around, relaxing. It's just like a foreign word for me. So as soon as I finished Closer to Human, the most recent release of mine, which is essentially the recreation of my debut album from 20 years ago, which I lost in a hard drive crash. Kind of just got the wild idea to celebrate the 20th anniversary by, instead of just doing some kind of remaster or something, which in my mind felt lazy, I just said, okay, I'm going to buy all the synthesizers and dig all the old sample CDs out of my mom's garage and rebuild the whole thing from scratch. So I did that, released that, which is going fantastic. I'm super excited. Everybody seems to be really connecting with it. And then the second that was done, I jumped headfirst into a brand new album, and so that's kind of where I'm at now, trying to finish a new album before the tour that I'm doing with Till Lindemann kicks off in October. And then, of course, a lot of tour pre-production, logistics, all that kind of stuff. You know, like I said, can't help but keep busy.
That's really cool that you get to tour with Till and all that.
Yeah,
it's good exposure for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the fourth time we've done it, and every time it feels like the shows get bigger. So one of the last times we did it in Europe, it was arenas, and then now like some of the shows are stadiums, which is just like, my band is in a stadium. This is ridiculous. So I haven't like fully processed it yet, but I know it'll feel very, very real when I'm standing side stage, about ready to go perform in stadium.
How'd you all connect?
Joe Letts, who I've been close with and has worked with me for many, many years. He's the drummer of Till Lindemann, and just kind of got into the orbit with them, like not just the band, but with the crew and Till and everyone. And we, back when Joey was touring regularly with Aesthetic Perfection, he was drumming for me on the first tour that we did with Till Lindemann. And then once he kind of jumped into their camp, they just kept asking us back. So it's kind of like a big touring family, so to speak. It's very cool. You know, like been on tour with a lot of big bands before. Never a band as big as Till Lindemann, but they're easily the most hospitable and welcoming people that I've had the pleasure of touring with.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, his shows are crazy.
Oh yeah.
One time in Berlin, I went to the Centrifuge where they shot their last album cover. You know, where they stood on the stairs around the big air thing. They have that there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're like Rammstein. Rammstein is intense and bombastic as it is, but like, you know, the Till Lindemann shows, you know, there's a reason that it's 18 and over only.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know, I see you've been really busy on the remix front too. That one you did with DiarBlack is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy doing remixes. I try to do like 2 a month, just because helps me keep my production chops, you know, current. I think it's easy to sort of get into maybe not like you don't necessarily get into a rhythm, but you know, when you're working on your own music, sometimes you just start doing things. You get a routine, and I think that remixing gives me the ability to kind of stretch out and maybe try ideas that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, or maybe feel like I haven't developed that skill set enough. And so it really is, you know, every remix is just like a guinea pig for a new idea that I, you know, if it works, I inevitably bring into the Aesthetic Perfection methodology. But I love doing remixes. It's always fun. I always discover a ton of great new bands. DiarBlack's fantastic, and good people. And yeah, you know, that one, if you listen to the original versus like my version, it's night and day. It's like couldn't even be more different. And I remember sending them the finished version, like, I don't know if you're gonna like this, but I went pretty nuts on it, and they were like, "We love it. This is fantastic." Yeah. So, you know, it's a great way to, like I said, connect with other artists and kind of work on my production chops.
And how does that work? I was just saying, did the artist send you the track, or so they just send it to you and say, "Hey, will you do a remix on this then?"
Yeah, you know, like my time is pretty limited, so these days I only do paid remixes. But yeah, basically, you know, artists will reach out to me, they'll send me their song, and, you know, I tell them my fee. And obviously, like, if I the way that I approach remixes is that I try to isolate like one individual idea or maybe two, and then throw the rest away and expand on that so that it really just becomes its own beast entirely. So when somebody submits a track to me, I listen to it and see if I can pluck out like one or two of those elements that jump out at me, and if I can locate them and I feel like I can do the song or do a remix justice, then I tell them what my fee is and they agree to it, and we do it. But like I'm not one of those people who will just like do a remix just for the money, just to kind of like phone it in. Like I can't phone anything in. I have to give it my 110%. So yeah, it's cool though, because I get a lot of messages, I get a lot of requests. Unfortunately, I have to turn down a lot of them for just time constraints. But like I said, I try to do 2 a month, just to keep all the tools sharp, right?
Yeah, and they're adding up, because I enjoy perusing your Spotify playlist with all your remixes on it.
It's over 100 now, I think.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Wow, 100. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like 104, 105 at this point. It's wild.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed with your remixes too, a lot of times you'll add in your own vocals.
Yeah, so what's funny about that is I started doing that because of the I believe it was the VNV Nation Solitary EP, the Wumpscut remix of Joy.
Okay.
So Wumpscut did a remix of Joy, and then there was like this aggressive vocal track in German over it, and I just assumed that it was Rudy. So I was like, whoa, that is so cool that Rudy Ratzinger does like a VNV Nation remix and then just like records his own vocals over the top of that. Like, I want to do that. That's so sick. And then somehow I was having a conversation with Ronan about it, and Ronan's like, that's not Rudy, that's me. I was like, it's like, I just got the idea to re-record my own vocals, like it like basically translate my lyrics into German and then sing it as, do my best like Rudy Ratzinger and Wumpscut impression that I could do. And so that's what I did. And I was like, so my whole sort of like remix philosophy is based on a lie, and it's just like, yeah. It's great. I love it.
I like it.
But I like the
different.
remix philosophy. I like that when artists add their own vocals, because like you're very distinctive with your vocal range, and it makes it kind of like we know that's your remix, because your vocals are in there, and like I like it personally. But
well, thank you. And it's obviously it's my own way of how like a lot of like pop and hip hop remixes, like the remixer will like add in like a remix or whatever onto it so that that it's there. So that's like my way of doing that, just a little bit more, I don't know, tactfully, I guess.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I guess we should probably go back to some more music, and then we'll be back with Daniel. What is Winter's next? Yeah, Winter, you're next.
I'm next.
This is After Dark Radio, and you are listening to DJ Winters.
Sometimes I feel so lost. I can barely see your eyes. I am gasping for a smoke-filled darkness. I am dancing in a gigantic vault, dark and lit up at the same time. Clear tears made of anger take hold of my body.
Alles, was ich brauch, ist dieser Beat. There's something wrong with me. It's such a rare disease. I need a remedy. Is it something physical or only psychological? 'Cause every time I connect, I get a panic attack. I've got say a prayer for me. Is it my paranoia, or is it mass hysteria? But everybody I meet points a finger at me. I'm afraid of machines. I'm afraid of machines.
Welcome back to Community After Dark. This is Winters. You just heard my set. That last song you heard is brand new Promenade Cinéma. And this is the song Play with Fate. This is a single with a promise of a new album towards the end of the year. You can pick that up on Bandcamp. This is self-released. And before that, I played BlackBook out of the UK. And this is the song Technophobia. This is a single. They are, of course, on Dark Tunes. And you can get that on Bandcamp. And before that, I played William Bleak out of Germany. I'm a huge fan of this artist, up and coming. And this is the new single, Phantom Pain. And that is, of course, self-released. And you know where you can pick that up. Bandcamp.
Yeah. All right. The fourth track Winter's Play was by, I'll say this properly, Dina Summer out of Germany. And Dina Summer, again, has a remix album that's coming out called Girls Gang Volume 2.
It's Girls Gang Remixes. I apologize.
Oh, Girls Gang Remixes Volume 2 on October 3rd. And the song that Winters played off the upcoming album is called Hypnotized. And that was the Etane remix.
Yep,
Yeah.
one more single dropped on the upcoming remix album that I pre-ordered and I'm looking forward to. If you want to get those alerts, pre-order, because you'll get it.
Sounds good.
All right, the third track we heard was brand new Ad Key from Germany. Let's see if I got this. The song was called Fühl den Beat, I guess. Well, maybe Daniel can get this. It's F-U-H-L.
Fühl den Beat.
Fühl.
So it means
Fühl
like
den
feel the
Beat.
beat,
Great.
essentially.
Feel the Beat.
Yeah.
And that's on... Oh, that's featuring Uwe Kanka. And
Nice.
that's on their new Contraction album that's coming out on Alpha Matrix.
It's Uwe, isn't it? Uwe Kanka?
Uwe Kanka.
Uwe Kanka.
Uwe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah, German's not easy to pronounce.
No. No.
Some days I feel like my like I hear the word in my head and then like what my tongue and lips produce is just like it's a mess. And you're just like, why don't you cooperate?
All right, the second song that I played is Super Dragon Punch out of Belgium. And this is the split single, but it's the Grendel remix. And this is a single that is out right now for you to purchase. And I started everything off with Denuit out of France. And this is a song Bleeding Love, but this is the Alvabeat remix. And this is on the album Ultraviolence that just released this past weekend. What Alvabeat did to this song is amazing. It's super dancey and super awesome. I didn't get the memo that we were playing Aesthetic Perfection, or I totally would have because I got a bunch of it. But yeah, that was my thought.
Next
I just
time.
did a
Next
normal. I did.
Yeah, next. Exactly.
Okay, so my question to you, when you were working on the first album, literally the first album, because I got it right when it came out, and the way that we went about getting CDs was really weird. We had a guy that would place a big order on Metropolis and bring the CDs to the club, and we'd pay him money. It was like a drug deal in the back of the, of the club or something. But that album, when you lost all the things, when you were recreating it, because you're tenured now, 20 years later, you've got a lot more knowledge than you did back then. And I love that you added on I Belong, that you added more of a death metal type black metal vocal to it. Like, I love that you did that. Like, what brought that on, that you were gonna add the vocal differently to, like, because you did it to all the songs and it's almost like a completely new album, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like what is the Cliff's Notes version of all of this, because it's it's 20. It's like, it's crazy. It's 20 years
yeah.
like separating all of this, and so much has happened, and I'm not the same artist and I'm not the same person, and the question is like, how do you do this without destroying the magic that made that record special? And it took me a lot of years actually to get the confidence to take this step, because I've been talking about this, and actually I gave an interview with a radio DJ from Seattle a couple of weeks ago, and he played back an interview that I had done with him in 2014. And he basically in this interview I talked about, the 10-year anniversary of Close to Human is coming up. This is the project I want to do. And then here we are now at 20 years at the 20-year anniversary, and it's like, now I finally did it. It took me a decade to actually get around to doing it. And I think that there were a lot of reasons for it. I think one of the biggest reasons was time, because I'm so busy. I just don't really know when I'm going to find the time to go back and do something like this, because it's like, you don't want to spend too much time living in the past. You want to be always moving forward as an artist. And, when I started doing this, I wasn't even sure if anybody was going to care. Close to Human wasn't a popular album when it came out. Like, some people liked it, but it wasn't like some genre defining record. It was just a record that came and went. And, it took me 15 years to sell out of it, for it to finally go out of print, because we only made like 2,000 copies, and it took, 15 years to sell all of them. And so I wasn't sure that anybody would care. And then also there's the fact that it's like, do I have the production chops to like do this record justice? And I think for a long time, I was very insecure about that and didn't believe that I could do it. And it was only back in 2022, I won't say the artist, but I was hired by a fairly large band to recreate all of their backing tracks due to some like legal stuff. And they had me do like 8 of their songs. Like, I had to listen to the original backing tracks, and then I had to recreate them as close as I could to the originals. I did this while I was on tour, not in my studio, just with my laptop and the plugins that I had. And I did it. And I was actually amazed at how close I was able to get these recreations to the originals. And, I'm showing the band, and I'm showing all my friends and colleagues, and they're like, dude, this is crazy. So that really gave me the confidence boost that I think that I needed to finally believe in myself and say, like, okay, I can do this from a production standpoint. And then there's also, the vocal side, which is like, what the vocals that I was doing on the first 2 records, on Close to Human and A Violent Emotion, it was zero technique. It's just screaming at the top of your lungs until your throat bleeds. And I would lose my voice for days or weeks at a time back in my 20s from doing this. And it was just like, it was just an absolutely unsustainable thing to do. And I just felt like what I have been doing so starting in, I think, 2009 or 10, I started taking vocal lessons and basically trying to figure out how to sing and scream while I had already had an audience and with expectations and all that kind of stuff, which is, its own can of worms in and of itself. It's like literally my audience and the whole world has just watched me like learn how to sing and scream in real time. And, God bless a lot of people out there who've kind of like put up with some subpar singing and subpar screaming over the years. God bless you. I'm so grateful that people heard the songs and the ideas through some of that, some of those shaky years. And so I sort of wanted to make sure that the screaming that I did in the record had the same kind of, not the same style, because that's not possible, but at least to have this kind of dark, I don't know, there was like a darkness and a but also a sharpness to it that it took me a lot of years to really kind of figure out how to do in a way that is sustainable. And I was also, wanted to be able to take it on the road and know that I could scream for an hour straight and not feel like I had a golf ball sized lump in my throat and not be able to talk for weeks on end. So it was just really like, I was so excited I lost my in-ears, but it was just a a whole bunch of different things had to coalesce in order for this to be right. And I'm not really one to pat myself on the back, but I do just genuinely feel like I did a good job on this. Like, I really do feel like I did a really good job on this.
Well, I'll pat you on the back. Because I was a little fearful, because it is one of my favorite albums. And I was like super excited to see what you were going to do. And then I love what you did, because I was going to ask you, how do you maintain? Because there's really no way. Like, I'm a Mike Patton fan, the vocal range. And like, how do you maintain that? Like, exercises and like, it's like there's got to be a warm-up that you do before you go on stage or something, because it's a wide range.
It's a mixture of technique, which you have to really like get right, or else, because with this extreme vocal stuff, you're always sort of teetering on the edge of like danger, right? So you have to make sure that you're always right down the middle and not overdoing it or underdoing it, because both of these things can cause damage or fatigue and all of that kind of stuff. So, I do vocal training 5 days a week, at least an hour a day. I try to do as much cardio as I can. I try to keep as fit as possible, just because like that core strength is an incredibly important component of that. So it's, you got to make sure that your machine is working, and I'm 42 now, so it's not as easy to keep the machine well oiled and going as it was when I was 22. So it's really important, and diet too. Like, it's all these things are very, very important. So I take it very, very seriously. I'm grateful that people like hear the progression and like value the effort that I put in, but it's also like, just to address your concern, or at least your initial concern, I wanted to make sure that this release was not a replacement for the original, just sort of like an addendum to it, because I know that no matter how good or bad this was, there's going to be people out there, and I've already conversed with them, that aren't going to like this, because they are in love with the sound and the vibe of the original. And that is totally okay. Like, that record is still there. I'm never going to be one of those people who's going to pull it off of streaming or Spotify. Like, and it was important to me to actually release an expanded edition of it, like with the original alongside it. So we've got the 2-disc edition, which is the reissue, and then the original album back to back, because I want to continue to embrace and honor, the history of that first record, but also find a way to introduce newer Aesthetic Perfection fans to like this older era of the band. And it's cool, because so many people who've only discovered Aesthetic Perfection by watching us support Lindemann 2 years ago, they're like, whoa, I've never even heard music like this at all. Like, and it's blowing their minds. It's like, yeah, this is 20 years old. So it's wow. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Very
but
cool.
I pat you on the back. You did an amazing job, because I know that had to be really hard, because that is 20 years ago. The path is, so.
I think that the most difficult thing of all, which I didn't really anticipate when starting, was actually holding back and not changing stuff that I think I should have changed, right? Like, you're listening to a song that you made 20 years ago, and you go, man, what was I thinking? This is, oh man, I should go back and fix this. But
what was that lyric about?
Yeah. Oh man, like going into the mind of 20-year-old Daniel that was a dark place, man. I'm glad I'm not in that headspace anymore. That's for sure.
All right, Daniel. I know you're actually going to play a few songs for us that you put together. So let's come back and we'll listen to your set, and then I guess we'll just talk a little bit more after that. So enjoy the music.
Sounds good.
Communion After Dark.
everybody. It is Daniel Graves from Aesthetic Perfection back on Communion After Dark. So stoked to be here. And you just listened to my DJ set. We ended with Raving by the artist Ghost Dance. And before that, you heard Missfit by REIN. And then one of my favorites, XYXY from Boys Noize. And then Rebel by the artist Lick. And I started off the set with Church Outfit by Poppy. I'm sure all of these songs are available on Bandcamp. I got them all on iTunes. But however you consume your music, you should support the artist, buy the music, because we appreciate it greatly.
Boys Noize has got a big gig coming up. They're opening for 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, wow.
I know, they're even part of the show.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're part of the show too?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any. I don't know. Do you want spoilers?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, sure. What's going with? I mean, I did see some clip online of 9 Inch Nails playing that show in I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere over in Europe, and they started off in the middle of the crowd. Yeah.
So they start like on an island in the middle of the crowd,
right?
And with a more sort of stripped down set, and then they move on to like the main stage, and then it's like it's not a video wall. It's basically kind of similar to what they did during the Self-Destruct tour, how it was like a mesh that will reflect video, but it surrounds the whole stage.
Wow!
And it just looks like the band is encompassed in video, and then there's like then there's like an interlude where they go back to that center stage and they do kind of like an electro set where they do like 9 Inch Nails remixes by Boys Noize.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like super gnarly.
Crazy.
And then they go back to the main stage and play like all the hits. Like I've watched so many videos of it. Like I really wanted to go to the show in Vienna, but I just couldn't find the time. And now I'm like kicking myself for not going because I've watched all the videos. I'm like, I should have gone. Should have gone.
So are they going to be supporting 9 Inch Nails in the U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they're the support band, and then they're also doing this kind of like 3-4 songs, I think, with Nails like during the middle of the set. It's rad.
Okay, nice.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. It'll be very I'm sure that's gonna be a crazy show to say the least. They're coming here, and they're coming here in September. So all right, and then so that's your set. Thank you. I don't know some of those. Lick. I don't know that artist. Is that a newer artist or?
You know, I actually don't know a single thing about that artist. So I spend a lot of time like listening to like kind of underground dark techno remixes just so I can or dark techno mixes on either YouTube or wherever, so that I can like find tracks to play on my own DJ gigs. And so basically I'll hear a song, I'll go, that's rad, I'll go straight to iTunes, I'll buy it, and then I just add it into my set. So half the time, like, I don't know really anything about the artists that I'm playing other than they're awesome.
And I do see that you have on Spotify, you're really blowing up on Spotify. You're over 100. I saw you post about that too. You're over 100,000 listeners, 103 now. So that's great. Good. That's congratulations. I know you mentioned that you were surprised by that, but that's fantastic. And I know you also have your channels on there as well, where you put up your mixes, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, I make playlists. I don't.
Playlists. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been going really hard on that, just because, like, I don't know, like I love making my own playlists and listening to them, and then someone just mentioned somewhere that it would be a good idea for me to make them public. So essentially, what those 4 or 5 playlists are, they're like my personal playlists that I've been curating for years, and then I just made them public and slapped cool artwork on them.
Okay. Yeah, it says. Yeah, I see that now. It says Aesthetic Perfection Radio, and then there's also this is Aesthetic Perfection. So there's a couple of channels on there.
Well, those are what those are is those are the Spotify algorithmic ones. Like this is aesthetic perfection. Like I actually don't have any control over that.
Oh, you
but
don't?
I've got, no.
Okay.
But I've got industrial metal essentials. I've got future pop, synth pop, and then I've got my discography, my remixes, and then dark electro, agrotech essentials, and then I got like even one for ballads, like a bunch of ballads that I love.
There you go.
So. I have an eclectic taste in music, and I think it's it's kind of cool that I get to share like all this different stuff that I listen to. And I didn't really expect people to be so into it, but my Discord's always going crazy about the stuff that the new tracks that people are hearing because of my playlists. And I get a lot of messages on Instagram from people that are like, oh man, either I haven't heard that song in years or I've never heard that before. This is so great. And now I'm following this artist or I'm buying their music on Bandcamp, and you're like, this is rad. Like I didn't expect it to have such a sort of positive impact like on things. I was like, it's just a couple playlists, who cares? But it's been awesome. So now it's something I try to do every Sunday. Every Sunday I try to be like, okay, here's my newest update on my playlist. Go have a listen and go support all these artists because they're awesome.
All right, so before we go to my set, I did have a few. Well, I have a bunch of questions, but I'll ask the first one. So you did recently. I know you said you're done with it, but you did recently a tour of. I guess it was. I don't know if it was mostly U.S. shows where you did I guess it was like the old school electro sets. So would you feel? I mean, was that just something you just wanted to get out of the way? You're over it now and it's done. I mean, was it enjoyable? Was it, or is it just? How do you feel about it?
It's a complicated. It's a good question, but it's a complicated one to answer because it's like, obviously, I did this to promote Closer to Human, to kind of introduce a lot of these newer listeners to this era of the band, and also to placate a lot of the people who have been like harping on this for so many years. Like, why don't you play more of Violent Emotion? Why don't you play Close to Human stuff live? So, those the throwback shows were entirely focused on a Violent Emotion and Closer to Human, Close to Human, and it was a lot of fun. And we did probably 30 shows, 25, something like that in total, and half were in Europe and half were in the United States. And it was really interesting because, some of the shows I'm thinking like Dark Force Fest, in Jersey, that was one where the crowd went absolutely bananas because they knew like almost every song.
Sure.
And then you have shows like, we did like a couple in Germany where you walk out and it's a sea of people wearing Rammstein and Lindemann shirts, and they've never heard anything like this in their whole lives, and they're like, "Huh, okay. I thought you were gonna play Gods and Gold," and I'm like, it says on the ticket, old school, nothing before 2011, and they're like, I don't know what that means. And you're like, okay, okay, So, those two extremes, right? Like every show was usually somewhere in the middle, and it was fun. And we started. I started performing with David Dutton from Gen Cab again. He was a part of Aesthetic Perfection back in that era. So touring with David again has been fantastic. Kind of revisiting the old songs gave me a new appreciation for them. So it's like, are we going to make throwback shows a regular occurrence from now on? Probably not, because as I said, I really like focusing on the future. That said, I think what I will be doing is incorporating more of songs from that era into like our current shows, because people seem to really connect with them, and so we did our first couple of full band shows in summer. We did a couple of festivals here in Europe, and we threw in some of those Closer to Human songs, and they, it was cool, went over well, and we're like, yeah, we can totally do this more often. So, nice. Try to find a happy medium, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
And we'll see what happens for the 30-year anniversary. Maybe I'll be 50 years old and I'll get out there and be like, all right, old school tour again. Let's do it.
Well, it's cool. I mean, it's cool that you're able to do it, you know? I mean, I know that some other bands have done that too, so that's pretty cool. And I know even like, what's the band that's coming around that's doing that now? Oh, Frontline Assembly. They're coming around and playing all their
Caustic Grip, yeah.
Wax Trax stuff from like 88 or 87 to like 92. So
yeah, they just did like a Caustic Grip show at Terminus, where I'm like, that's wild. Caustic Grip, like
that's crazy. Yeah, that's really old school there for sure, no doubt. All right, well, we're gonna go to some more music, and then we'll be back with Daniel, and so stay tuned and enjoy the music.
This is Canadian After Dark Radio, and you are listening to DJ Paradise.
Tell me the answer to know what you have done.
Wind. Wir springen hoch, wir drehen frei. Im Takt der Nacht sind wir dabei. Die Bässe drücken in der Brust. Im Club, da lebt die pure Lust. Die Menge tobt, die Luft wird schwer. Der DJ gibt uns immer mehr. Die Zeit verschwimmt, die Stunden fliehen. Im Nebel können wir nicht sehen. Wir springen hoch, wir drehen frei. Im Takt der Nacht sind wir dabei. Die Bässe drücken in der Brust. Im Club, da lebt die pure Lust. Die Schuhe brennen auf dem Boden, die Energie ist ungeordnet, die Hände heben sich empor. Wir sind ein Strom, wir sind ein Chor. Wir springen hoch, wir drehen frei. Im Takt der Nacht sind wir dabei. Die Bässe drücken in der Brust. Im Club, da lebt die pure Lust.
the angels you spoke of? Why is my shield broken? I do not know where I'm headed. There must be more than this. Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? I am longing for daylight. Power down, I face this. Trying hard to reach you. Am I losing myself? Why is my shield broken? There must be more than this. Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? Where am I supposed to go now? Where are the angels that you spoke of? It's an old way, a lack of foresight. You can't tell what exactly was the draw. It's an art win, it's a shamite. I'm longing for the day I'd miss you more. Now that the world is on fire, we should be looking sharp. And when the flames are all out, I'll kiss you in the dark. It's a long day, it's a slow burn. It's taking more than bones to end the night. It's a warm ray, it's my best shot. It's kind of weird how love is swift as light.
All right, welcome back to Community After Dark. I'm Paradise, and the last song you heard from my set was, I guess you say this, Cineas or Cineas? Cineas, I'll go with that. And they are a band out of the UK, a synth pop artist out of the UK. The song I played was Swift as Light. It's a digital single. You pick it up now. We'll give them some love. Cool band. I know they've been highlighted on our buddy Synth Pop Fanatics site a number of times, so I think you'll enjoy them if you like synth pop music. Fifth track in my set was by Code 64 out of Sweden. This is not a new song, but I don't know, maybe I just missed this song, but I've been listening to it a lot lately, and I love this track. It's called Protection Reformed, and it's a digital single you can pick up. It's been out for about a year now. You know, I know we normally play all new music on here, but I wanted to throw it in because I've been listening to it a bunch, and I really like that track. I know we actually played it on the show. Shows how much I pay attention, I guess, and somehow I just completely missed it.
You know, there's a way to search on the Community After Dark website.
Yeah, I saw. We played it a year ago, but like I said, or a little less than a year ago, but I completely missed it. But yes.
If it's new to you, it's new.
That's right.
It's new to someone. And the fourth song that Paradise played is Curse Mackie out of the US, a local favorite. And this is the song Disco Cult on the new album Imaginary Enemies, which of course came out on Negative Game. And you can get that wherever you buy music.
You can leave that up to the next one up to Gold, huh?
See, we got a band called Culty Klang from Germany with a song called Club Knock, and that's from their Form and Function release on Fake Nose Records.
Yeah, it's close enough. I did Google it, and it says it's pronounced as Celticlan. I don't know. That's as close as I can get.
Is it K with the A and the two dots?
Yes, the two dots.
Celticlan. So cold sound.
Ah, okay. I like this release. I have no idea what they're singing about necessarily, but I like the release, and hopefully you do too. But that is a new release that is out now. Second track in my set was by Frontal Boundary out of the US. They have a brand new release out. They're on a new label as well. The new single is called Hate. They are now on Alpha Matrix, so congratulations to Frontal Boundary. They're out of, I believe, Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. And they also play the other two of the members, or the members are also live members of Unter Null as well. So, and we just announced that show. Not that, but I just announced that show here in December. So if you're looking for a dark electro show in late December, we got Unter Null coming to Tampa on December 19th with Frontal Boundary playing as well, and Protocol 19. It's a dark electro for December. Some dark.
And on that EP,
Christmas
there's an
music.
Unter Null remix. On that
Yes. Well, like I said, they're definitely connected. 100%. And I started off with Aesthetic Perfection. So we got another Aesthetic Perfection song on here. Yes. And Daniel is currently living in Austria. He has a song called, on this one I played off the Closer to Human, was called Fixed. That's the name of the track. And self-released. So as we mentioned, and there was actually physical copies of that, which you can pick up on Dependent, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, you can get it. Actually, we finally have them in our own web shops.
Okay.
Right? So when we did the pre-order, we sold out of all of the red vinyl, but I kept back a couple dozen copies for myself in my web stores, and so those are available in my web store in North America and in Germany. So you can get all versions either through me or through Dependent or through whoever you want.
Cool. And
it's everywhere.
Your label, your own label, is called Closer to Human Music, correct?
Yeah, it's Close to Human Music.
Close to Human. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I added that R. Here's the thing. It's like it's been Close to Human for so long. It's like Close to Human was the debut album. That's why I thought I would name the label Close to Human Music. But then I just threw a curveball to everybody. It was like, nah, no, it's Closer to Human because I'm funny and clever, and then now everybody's like, now they don't know, is it closer or is it close or what? So yeah, it's I made my own bet. I got to lie in it now.
All right.
See, I took the Closer to Human because it was that you have grown so much since that album. So I put like this whole depth into it, not just you being funny.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I was trying to add like a layer of depth to it, but I also added a layer of complexity for like, just regular people who are trying to, remember what my album's called or what my label's called. So like I said, I made my bet. I got a lie in it.
Nice. Oh, it's cool. And it's it's a great, like I said, we've enjoyed the release. We played a bunch of tracks off of it on here, and we love it. So yeah, keep up the great work. Now, you said you're working on a full-length album. I know you already said that's in the works. Is that like a 2026 you're hoping release at this point?
Yeah, like I'm so ambitious, and I always bite off way more than I can chew. And so I was like, I'm totally gonna finish this album, and I'm gonna have it ready for the tour in winter. Like it's, we're gonna go like October 30th release date, like Halloween, whatever. Yeah. And I would have needed to deliver the final masters with artwork and everything 2 days ago. So I actually got like the ping, my phone went ping, your album's due today, and I was like, yeah, no. My album ain't ready to go. So if I'm being realistic, probably early 2026. And hopefully we'll start dropping some singles during winter, singles and videos and stuff.
And that tour you're doing in the fall, is that in the United States or in Europe? I can't remember.
No, it's a European tour.
European.
So
okay.
Yeah, we're exploring some options to get back to the US. I'm just a glutton for punishment, and we'll see if I can make that happen.
I was gonna say, I remember and I know this is probably not recently, but I remember when you had that tour a few years back, you had mentioned that you weren't sure how much you were looking into do another full tour again. I know you had said you were looking to do like the support stuff like what you've been doing now, but you weren't sure how feasible it was to do another full tour. But you're thinking about doing that again?
Well, we got a new agent in the US, and they believe that they have like a strategy and a package that's going to make, that type of tour sustainable. So I'm like, if everybody involved believes it's possible, that it's doable, then let's do it. But, like I said, or like you said, in 2022, that was a tough tour. That was a rough one. And I know that it was for it was a multitude of reasons that made that tour so difficult. But you just sort of feel like the winds are changing, and I don't want to keep repeating the same thing just to have like either the same result or worse results. So that's why we haven't done a headlining tour in the US since 2022. But like I said, we've got a new agent. They've got what they feel like is a strong plan, a strong package. And I love touring in the United States. I love being home, right? Like even though I've lived in Europe now for over now almost 6 years.
Wow.
I'm still like endlessly homesick, and I love taking any opportunity I can to get home. So and I love tour. I love touring and performing at home as well. So fingers crossed. I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's put it that way.
Good. Well, it'd be great to have you back for sure, and hopefully that all pans out for you. In the future. So
yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And hopefully people who are in Europe can get to see you open, because that's pretty crazy. You're opening in stadiums for Till Lindemann. That'll be awesome. Probably a crazy experience for you just in general to walk out there in front of all those people.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, we did one stadium before, and that was supporting Till Lindemann. That was like the one stadium on that last tour we did with them in Europe. He's from Leipzig, so it was like a hometown show for him. We did like the soccer stadium there, and it was like 14,000 people. It was sold out, and I remember standing side stage before we were gonna go play, and I just had like the most overwhelming urge to just run away.
I can imagine.
I was like, you know what? Can I just go? Can I just like? Will anybody be mad at me if I just turn tail and like run and leave like a Daniel-shaped hole in the wall? But you know, it worked out. It was great, and now you know we're doing that same stadium again, and they added a few other ones. Most of them are arenas, which you know is terrifying enough as it is, like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people. But I think the one thing that makes it better actually is that when you cross a certain threshold, then it almost becomes an abstraction, right? Like you're just looking out into a sea of people. Like it might as well be cameras. Like you can't see individual faces really. It's like actually the most terrifying thing is being like in a small club where there's like 100 people and they, you know, you can look them in the eye and you can tell if they're not having fun, right? Like you'll play in a club and there'll be like a guy just sitting there like you know, shaking his head. You're like, wow, you just ruined my whole night, bro. When you're in an arena or a stadium, it's like you can't really see any of the faces, so you just kind of like just do your thing. So both have their pros and cons. Both are terrifying in their own way, but it's just internet abstraction such large numbers can become.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, I like your shirt, by the way. I love that place.
Bucky's, yeah.
You know, I kept seeing the hat, and I was like, I'll wait until he moves again. I was like, is that a Bucky shirt? Is that a Bucky shirt?
It is a Bucky shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. I love some of the stuff they have there. That place is crazy. It's definitely an experience to go into one of those. All right.
Oh yeah.
So before we'll talk a little bit more. We have one more song though coming up, and then we'll do that, and then we'll be back. The last song I'm playing is from Psyche, who is out of Germany. I that's where he's out of now, anyways. And I'm playing the song "Unveiling the Secret" 12-inch remix off his new release called Future Memories. This is not new. These are all 80s, like 12-inch. Extended mixes that he remastered for his 40 years of music. So 40th anniversary, and he is basically remastered everything. It's selling well too. I see it's like one of the top sellers currently on Paponaut sites. So check it out. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and Goodbye Horses, of course, is on there as well. But I like this track a lot, and Psyche made some great music. So enjoy. And come on back. right, welcome back to Community After Dark. That was the last song of our show. Thank you again to Daniel, who's been kind enough to hang out with us and listen to us blather and all this other stuff for the last hour or so. It's been great to have you on again. It's been a while. I mean, you were on our show, I think, I want to say twice before. Last time you were on the show was when you were doing all the singles. You were doing like a single a month at that time. I don't remember what year that necessarily was, but
it was lockdown year. Yeah,
lockdown. That's what it was. Okay, that's right. Because you were putting out those singles and then you were on that. You were on prior to that too, but I'm not even sure what year that was. So go back and find those shows.
I was still in LA. I was still in LA at the time. So it's been a minute.
Wow, were you? Oh, wow, okay. That's cool. Yeah, so go back and find those old shows. They're good ones. They're on our YouTube site. So all those shows are still up there, and you can find them. Lots of shows on our YouTube site. Large amount. You had some good singles during that time. The one I really enjoyed, I think, during that period was the one you did with Isaac Howlett. I know you're friends with him. And I really enjoyed that track. And he's, because he's also got like a fantastic singing voice, and it was a good duo track you guys did together.
Yeah, thank you. Isaac's awesome, and he's actually like almost a neighbor. It's very funny how
is he really? You guys both live in the same area?
Yeah. He's been. I think he moved here just kind of during lockdown, and so we actually hang out fairly regularly. When I have barbecues, he comes by, or we go to dinner in the city. Yeah.
Barbecue at Daniel's house.
Weird how small the world is, right? Yeah.
All right. So, Gold Winters, did you have any additional questions you wanted to throw out before the show ends?
No, just thank you for coming. I have a lot of insight on things. I got all my questions answered. I'm looking forward to the new album. And I'm hoping that maybe October, November, you'll feed us a track, give us a tease.
I promise I will deliver a track as soon as humanly possible, but definitely shooting for fall. So it's always a pleasure being here. I'm so grateful to you guys for your support after throughout all these years. So keep up the great work. You're all doing God's work here, keeping the world supplied with new music every week. So, yeah.
I was going to ask you too before we let you go. Gold, did you have any questions or no? Any additional questions?
Just keep up the good work, and thanks for saving my dance floor over the years.
Well, thank you for playing it. Like that's how this works. Like artists need people who love the music to help get the word out. So I feel like this is a very symbiotic thing, and I think it's an amazing community that we've all got here in our little scene, in our little world.
No summer goth track this year, huh?
I wanted to so bad, but I just could not find the time. I swear I'm gonna do everything in my power to make Summer Goth 2026 a reality. I really do want to make a new version of it every summer. It just seems like a fun and ridiculous idea that I'm the only one who would even attempt. So we'll see.
Well, didn't you do a Christmas song?
That was the last song on the Song a Month project. I did,
so you got that
song.
So you either got to hit up Halloween or one other holiday and do something.
Halloween is my favorite. Yeah. So
yeah,
that would be.
I mean,
yeah, I saw that. I saw
Mansion,
that. Admiring your poster.
You put out some, I mean, just going back in your discography, you put out so many great tracks over the years. So,
well, thank you. It's you play the numbers game, right? You just put out as much as you can, and then hope some of it's good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, some of the stuff you've done. I mean, even just the singles and just Rhythm and Control. I remember that when I was DJing in clubs. I used to play that a lot. That was a great track. You had some fantastic stuff you've done. And the new album, Closer to Human, again, is out. Make sure you pick it up. It's excellent. Again, it's like you said, this is a 20 years now from Close to Human. Was that the name of the original album? Am I screwing it up again?
Yeah, Close to Human 2005 and Closer to Human 2025.
It seems like you've been around longer than that. I don't know why I want to say you've been around since like the 90s.
You guys were getting, you and your roommate, Mark, you guys were getting, I don't know how David was doing it. He was getting Aesthetic Perfection and Necessary Response before the album was out. And you and Tom were playing it at the club. No, it was both. You can ask Mel.
No, because his Necessary Response stuff didn't come. You didn't do that album until, what year was that you did that album?
So 2007, but here's the thing. So,
it wasn't named.
Right. So what happened was the band formed in 2000 when I was 17.
Okay. That's right.
So the band formed in 2000, and I immediately, I think 2001, I was sending demos to people that I could find, like, you know, in AOL chat rooms and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. In Industrial Baby and Gothic chat. Like, I would find whoever would want a CDR from me. I'd drop it in the mail, and then when Audio Galaxy came out, like in Napster, I would just put all my stuff on there, and I would like put like I would say other bands' names so people would download it. So you'd say like Assemblage 23, and then people would download it, and they're like, "This isn't Assemblage 23." So
that's funny.
That's great. My clever marketing trick, and yeah. So part of I would say maybe the second or third batch of songs I ever wrote were, or that I wrote for Aesthetic Perfection, were Tomorrow, Elements, Devotion, and maybe, yeah. And those actually went out as demos for Aesthetic Perfection because those songs were supposed to be on the first Aesthetic Perfection album, but my labels said, no, Aesthetic Perfection can't have future pop tracks on their album. You're an aggro band. And I was like, but do I have to be? And they were like, yes, you do. So that's when I created a new band, Necessary Response, as an outlet for those songs. And then when it didn't work, I said, I'm going to take all those songs back and I'm going to release them as Aesthetic Perfection as they were always meant to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, but we had your music before the album. I don't know how. I don't know where David
I think it's just like you just said. You probably, well, you were talking with Daniel, and he probably doesn't remember that in some. Weren't you guys?
Live Journal. You and I were
Live Journal.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And I told you way back then. I was like, we're already playing your music in the club.
It's awesome.
Live Journal. Oh my god. Do you do all your own editing? Because your videos, that's one thing that probably stands out. I mean, there's a lot of bands that are maybe more mid-sized bands, you know, and that are working their way up that are like don't have video quality like yours. Your videos are crazy. I mean, the way you do them, the quality of them, they're fantastic. Do you do your own stuff, or do you have people who help you out with that, or?
Well, thank you. I mean, look, it takes a village, right? Like, and I've been like super blessed to be surrounded by incredibly talented photographers and videographers who have, you know, helped me along the way. Like, I've come to them with some crazy vision, and you know, they'll
especially living in LA.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was easier, but you know, the last couple of years, like I've actually made a nice little group of, you know, at least kind of put together like a cool group of like-minded artists, you know, either between here in Austria or in Germany. You know, we've got this guy Max who's basically coming with us on like all our shows and tours and filming stuff, and you know, he's just absolutely incredible. But I haven't edited one of my own music videos, I think, since LAX.
Okay.
So it's been a minute, but I did like Dark Half, I did LAX, I did a couple of other ones, but then I was just like, I just don't have like the time or the eye to like get these things the way I really want them to be. So you know, I've worked with, like I said, fantastic people like this guy Max, and Clint Carney from System Sin. You know, we made a couple of videos together. Just, you know, what's great about the internet and, you know, international travel is that you can collaborate with people halfway across the world and figure out a way to make something happen. So
yeah,
I think if anything, you know, I'm just open to other people's ideas. I think that this is maybe one of, if I'm going to give myself any sort of credit for any sort of artistic strengths that I have, is that I'm not like overly precious about my ideas. If my ideas don't work, I'm happy to let somebody else who knows what they're doing step in or contribute, because all that matters at the end of the day is like making something that's worth watching or listening to. And so yeah.
Oh yeah, well, congratulations, and congratulations on all your success. You know, as things keep building, it's fantastic. Shows how much you've been sticking with it, and yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, just to watch your evolution over the years. Yeah, persistence. Well, and you sound like an extremely hard worker, which obviously helps as well. You're always doing something. So, like you said, you're not just sitting around. So that also helps. But that's great. Yeah. You know, it's good that you got that much energy, and it's just amazing to see the evolution you've had. So it's fantastic, and I hope more success for you in the future.
Well, thank you so much, and hope I get to talk to you all again sometime soon. I think the last one was like 3-4 years ago, so hopefully in less than 3 or 4 years again.
I agree. All right, Daniel.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Y'all take care.
Bye, everybody. Have an amazing week.
Will someone turn off that music? That's enough. I'm putting an end to this freak show right now.